to play. I want to play in your D&D game. I want to play. I want to play. I want to play in your D&D game.
Hi.
Why?
Oh, we all just got to see that intro make a comeback. Oh no!
I just want to say I'm very vindicated because someone said that we were due for a Barovia trip sometime soon, and looks like we may be going there. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do can surprise me anymore, Chris Perkins. I'm a DM now.
You're a DM now.
I'm a DM now.
You and Rachel are both like, yeah, we did that already.
Yeah.
You know, it could have just been a technical error. You know, like file names are very similar.
Little glitch.
Yep.
Yeah.
So previously in Dice Camera Action, Paltin rescued Evelyn's spirit as she went into the Soulmonger after she sacrificed herself to save Strix and Diath. He pulled her from obliteration, as it were, and was hurled into a dark plane where he met this creature made of twigs who gave him his hand, his severed hand of hell, that followed him around for a good long time.
Yeah, thanks for that.
When this creature gave him the hand, it told Paltin that the hand would help him find a chalice, the skull chalice of Chagakare. And Paltin thought nothing more of it, and eventually he was returned to the material plane, and he left all that behind. But he still had the hand. Later, the heroes ran into Artis Cimber, an adventurer, a harper, who had in his possession the Ring of Winter, which he was keeping out of the hands of evil, sort of forcing himself to carry it around, even though he didn't particularly want it. Now, when Paltin saw the ring, of course, Paltin wanted that ring, and he eventually got it, but not before Artis gave him a warning that he probably should never have that ring, not if he really wants it. Around that time-ish, the party had to bail on their airship. Shemeshka cut a deal with Diath. In exchange for getting he and his friends off the ship, he had to commit himself to being the subject of a Gaius spell, which she cast on him. That Gaius compelling him to seek out an entity named Mr. Fox and recover his magical spectacles, among other things. Last week, Paltin became separated from the party, and although it looked like he had returned, it actually was his icy simulacrum. And it dissolved into ice and snow after impaling itself on Paltin's sun sword.
Became separated, quote unquote. As in stormed off in a huff.
Then there was a nice snow-on-ya moment as you all just sort of gazed upon the slush pile that used to be Paltin. And when Simon offered to take you to where Paltin was, Diath, you felt this icy, stabby needle through your brain, and you nearly collapsed from the pain of it. And then Holly, you cast a healing spell on him. So, Holly, I would like you to roll how many hit points you give Diath from your healing spell.
Right.
Yes, please.
It was cure wounds. I actually need to look it up because I actually don't have the cleric's card. So hold on.
Okay.
Because I get all these special little things that are fun.
If you're casting it at its base level, I believe it's...
Oh, I see. It's level 1. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and cast it at level 3.
Because he took like 25 points of damage, I think.
Yeah, that's like half of
Okay.
it.
It's more than half.
All right. Who's unwrapping?
Sorry. I thought I was muted, my bad.
All right, so you're going to do 3d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
8, 9, 10. So that's 14.
All right. So instantly you get
Thank
some of your
you.
hit points back, Dieth. And the pain begins to subside.
Doesn't matter. Won't forget it. So I guess with that, after Dieth had gotten just super injured and just clutching his head, because if I believe correctly, when we last left off, we had basically said we're on our way to find Paltin, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And Simon seemed to be of a mind to lead you there.
Okay. So yeah, so Dieth will just have to say, oh man, actually clutching a very real headache that I actually have right now, Chris Perkins. He'll say, I can't go. You guys have to go find Paltin.
No, that's not happening. That's not. No. We're gonna go together. This is we're a party.
No, I'm saying I can't. I know what I have to do, and if I don't do it, I will die.
No, no one's dying.
Strix, you can make a intelligence arcana check if you like.
All right, can I do it between screams?
Yep.
Oh, I got a 20. Wow.
Whoa!
That never happens.
Okay. So
You know everything.
You know everything.
Apparently, Strix is very concerned right now.
So you know that the gay can, when he does anything against that spell, he takes the damage, but he can't take it more than once a day.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
That's fine. I mean, if he can take it once a day, we can just like heal him up once a day, and we can go find Paltin,
You
then
also
and then we
know,
can come back.
Exactly. You also know that there is magic that could remove a Gaius. Like, for instance, you think a remove curse spell could do it.
Oh, I have that spell.
I know you do.
Dieth is like, what?
What?
Wait, so wait, if I remove the spell, then but I really don't want to make. But can we still get Shemeshka the glasses? Okay.
Yeah, sure. We could just do it later. Look, it's fine. You just remove the Gaius. He just doesn't have the ice pointy brain problem, and then we just go get the stuff that Shemeshka wants after we go find Paltin and make sure he's okay. Do you think he's okay?
Oh, that's the problem I can't deal with right now. Remove curse.
All right. So Dieth, the remove curse will affect you if you are willing.
I'm just saying, we will still get the glasses. I don't want to make her mad, but there's no reason for you to be in pain.
Yes, I am very willing.
Okay. So
Nice.
She casts the spell. You get a sense, Dieth, that some has been lifted from you. It's an intangible sense, but yeah, you believe.
What a strange thing that this never occurred to us before.
Strix is just like, if you're listening, we're going to still get the glasses. All right? Just she's like talking to the air. Like, I know you're
Simon's
really
like
smart.
looking around, seeing who she's talking to.
Yeah, we are going to get them. We just can't have Dieth die.
Yeah, Strix is right. We still have to get it because the last thing we want to do is do anything that could possibly incur the wrath of
I
Shemeshka.
really don't want that.
No, she seems real nice. I'm sure she'll understand.
She is not nice, Evelyn. Nothing about this is nice. She's manipulative and just using me like a puppet.
Oh, well, she dresses real nice.
As Strix goes over to Evelyn and is like, Evelyn, just because people wear pretty dresses doesn't mean that they're nice.
That's true.
That's true. I know that's
See?
Miranda's got the prettiest dress of everybody. Yeah.
Evelyn kind of looks at Miranda's dress and then looks up at her like,
it's just the cloak that's pretty. And then she changes it into like a burlap looking sack thing.
you have got to tell me where you got that because I need one just like it.
Sure, maybe I'll tell you Sunday. Don't worry about it.
Well, thank you, Strix. I feel much better.
No problem.
We'll still have to find it, but first things first, we need.
Okay. Simon leads you, and by you, that's including your party, plus Miranda's 4 surviving vegapygmies, dragon bait, and waffles, all on a merry escapade through this maze-like city until you get to what appears to be a misty warrior's graveyard. You can see it's sort of enclosed by low walls, and like the tombs in New Orleans, there are all these crypts that are above ground, these box-shaped crypts laid out in this yard. All around the edges of the yard where the walls sort of contain everything, you crumbled down masonry from toppled statues and whatnot, including several statues that appear to have been carved to look like Minotaurs. There is, at the center of this cemetery, a larger tomb than the others, and you can see at once that it appears to have been cracked open.
Does it look like it belongs in Omu or someplace else?
No, it looks like it belongs in Omu. all of the crypts are kind of a similar stone to the ruined Omuan buildings around you, and based on the carvings on the sides of the crypt, is what sort of tips you off that this is some sort of warrior's graveyard, because all the carvings show what like stylized Omuan warriors fighting stuff.
Oh. Oh.
So
Evelyn-
the one that's been opened, does it look like it's been opened recently?
Yes,
Crap.
it would seem so. You can also see that engraved above the opening that has been pulled, basically one end of this mausoleum has sort of cracked and been knocked away and now lies in ruins. And above it, engraved in the stone in an ancient language, is a name of some kind.
Can I try and read it?
If you have comprehend languages, you can.
Oh, no, I don't.
Okay.
I'm going to pretend to read it, though.
Okay.
What does
I'm
it
going to
say,
look really
Strix?
smart for a second. It says, oh, it's an old dialect.
Oh, but I'm sure you can read it. You can read everything. What is it?
She just like mumbles.
Oh,
I
Wow.
saved Strix's embarrassment in the middle of that just by saying, Evelyn, can you sense anything?
Oh, let me see. Oh, great morning, Lord. Bless upon thy servant with the vision to know good and evil and all that is around us.
You sense the presence of undead all around you.
there are so many undead here.
Roll
Like
initiative.
a whole bunch. Are they like under us?
I don't like this place.
You don't see any of them. You just sense them. But everybody roll initiative except Paltin,
Oh, great.
who we'll get to momentarily.
You know what I realized this week? That when I'm in a situation that I feel is like ironically dangerous, I immediately take a southern accent without meaning to. I wonder how that happened.
Strix, what was your initiative?
Mine would be 13.
13. Dia.
Also 13.
Evelyn.
15.
And Miranda.
14.
All right, now roll for dragon bait.
Look how cute we all are.
I love it. All close together.
Okay. So yes, Evelyn, you sense that there is undead all around you. You count in your brain, it feels like 6 undead life forces, and they're close. But you look around, and there's nothing but the graveyard and sort of the mist that's kind of the morning mist that's settled over everything. There is, by the way, there is sunlight above you through the fog that you're in. So it's a clear morning. It's just that when the river sort of crashes down through here, it stirs up a lot of moisture, and so the mist has sort of come and washed over this cemetery.
Evelyn kind of walks around like knowingly. She's patting her chin and she's like, if I have learned anything in my time as a paladin fighting undead, I've learned that graveyards tend to be places where undead are underneath the ground.
Yeah, there's one about 5 feet away from you.
I can like hone in that closely.
Yeah, you can, as you sort of move close, you can sense that it's really close by. And then it sort of moves so that it's behind you.
Oh, God.
So it doesn't feel like it's under me.
No.
Oh. I think these undead are invisible. And she takes a wild swing behind her.
All right. Go ahead and make an attack roll with disadvantage.
Oh man, and I rolled a nat 20 for my first one too.
Ooh.
And another nat 20! Oh! I rolled two nat 20s!
What's
Can I
going
tell
on?
you guys something?
Yeah.
I literally had a dream that I rolled a nat 20, and I was like, lol, 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 what a funny dream, because I never roll nat 20s. And now the first two rolls I have rolled since then have both been 20s. I am blessed. Ask me your questions now. Wow.
Okay.
Go ahead and count the roll your next 20.
Yeah,
All right.
never. I've used them both up.
And you're using Treebane, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you swing your axe around.
Oh, I should have used the Heart of Spinelli, but yeah, I used Treebane.
Okay.
And if I crit, that means I'm adding another D8, right?
That's right. Yeah.
All right, so I got 7.
Unless you're using weapon two-handed, then you're rolling d10s.
I would have, but I didn't say it beforehand,
No,
and
that's
I
okay.
think she just was like,
No, that's fine. Okay, that's great. Okay, so roll a d8 and then roll a d8 again, and then add your strength and whatnot.
yeah. So I got 11.
11. Okay, when you swing around, you tear through something. It doesn't feel that substantial, but it's sort of like cutting through like a curtain almost for an instant there.
Can I roll some sort of like a I don't know, a religion
Sure.
or arcana
You sure
religion?
can. Yeah.
17.
Okay, you believe that you hit something that was insubstantial, but that it has kind of like almost like an ectoplasmic form.
Gotcha.
And it is invisible, which is why you can't see anything.
Guys, we got ghosties.
All right. And that was Evelyn. Miranda, you're looking around, you don't see anything.
Gonna cast a real quick detect magic.
Sure.
See if I see anything.
Yeah, with your detect magic, you can see what appear to be hazy balls of light in the air around the party.
Can I see if the one that if Anna hit one of them and that's what?
That
Let's
hazy
give her
ball
that
of light seems to be
thing.
the thing that she cut into.
Okay. Miranda's just gonna scream and start pointing at them and be like, hit there, hit there, hit there, hit there.
Excellent. Okay, Strix.
I'll be the radar.
Strix and Diath, you're technically going at the same time, but I'll start with you, Holly. What would you like to do?
Yeah,
I'm
she'll be way more effective.
I'm upset. Yeah, I would like to fireball the shit out of this entire area.
Oh, she's just dropping at ground zero.
Yeah. No.
All right, exempting all your friends and companions, the fireball detonates. The fog and the mist sort of explodes away as the fireball pushes the moisture back. And roll your damage, and I've got to make
That's 25.
25. And these things are resistant to
passed
fire, so they'll each take 12 or 6, depending on their saving throws.
Well, at least the mist is
All right,
gone.
the one behind Miranda, you've still got your spell up. That ball near Evelyn seems to just go away, engulfed in the flames.
Excellent.
All right. The other ones are all sort of engulfed momentarily in the fire. Then the fire passes, and all the weeds and stuff in the vicinity are all burnt and charred away. The mausoleums and crypts are all sort of blackened by scorch marks from the blast. And it is Diath's turn.
I can't see anything.
Correct.
So,
But Miranda is sort of pointing to things, empty spaces in the air.
all right. So yeah, I'll take out Gutter, I guess.
Okay.
And then if she's like pointing at somewhere, DS would be like, there. and just kind of like really awkward. It's like,
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Make a roll with disadvantage.
Okay. 16.
Nope, not there.
All right. What? I don't know.
Missed it.
This
All right.
is hard.
Suddenly, 5 balls of light appear all around you.
Oh, I found them.
And they are no longer invisible. And you can also see around each ball of floating light is just the barest hint of a ghostly figure that looks like a 7 to 8 foot tall Minotaur.
Okay.
Oh.
And these ghostly spectral Minotaurs, the ball of energy seems to be kind of where their chests are.
Don't sneak up on us like that. I'm sorry we started chopping you, but
Yeah.
if you have something to say, just say it. We're very antsy and we're a little jumpy.
And Evelyn, you rolled a 17 on your religion check. Now that you can see these things, you believe, based on childhood tales you were told at the temple and whatnot, that these might be will-o'-the-wisps. They are undead, malevolent spirits that haunt desolate places and try to lead travelers to their doom.
We ain't going nowhere with you.
And these ones are apparently Minotaur spirits. But 2 of them suddenly erupt with electricity and fire bolts of lightning at Evelyn.
Look, I was holding back before, but you don't want to see me when I'm angry.
All right, Evelyn, you take 13 points of damage from one.
She brushes her shoulder off.
No.
And the other bolt you just sort of block with your band brace.
Nice.
And then 2 others will go after Miranda.
Okie doke.
Miranda, they're both going to hit you. One does 16 points of lightning damage, and the other does 9 points of lightning damage for a total of 25. And the last one is going to go over and zap Waffles.
How dare you?
no,
They've
you
gone
didn't.
too far.
And
Now it's
yeah,
personal.
Waffles gets zapped in the derriere for 13 points of damage
Oh
and lets out a growl. And then,
Look, you mess with me. You
Yep.
mess with my friends, but you don't mess with my owl.
all right, Dragonbait leaps into action, swinging at one of them with his sword, cutting into it twice and destroying it.
Yes.
no! He's the most effective person here.
Yeah, that one
It's
that one
true.
was singed by your fire. And then Simon will just sort of stand there because he's not particularly effective against incorporeal undead creatures. Waffles will try to snap her beak around one of them, succeeding actually.
Yay!
Oh, so she kind of she swallows, or she appears to swallow it for an instant, and then it just sort of floats out through her head.
Ah, dang. That'd been awesome. She straight up ate a ghost.
That was a good try, honey bun.
Yeah, this one wasn't damaged enough for her to kill it, and her attacks don't seem all that effective. Then she'll take a swipe at it with a paw and hit it again. All right.
Just a toy for her at this point.
Yeah.
I should enchant her paws sometimes so she's got magic weapons.
That would be awesome.
Little radiant
that'd
damage
be
on the
awesome.
claws.
Yeah.
Evelyn, what do you do?
As soon as they hit my owlbear, Evelyn is like, "Oh no, you did not!" And she goes after the nearest, actually after the one that went after Waffles.
Okay.
With Treebane,
All right.
and she rolls 16,
That's a miss.
and she kind of coughs and shakes herself off and goes for her second attack, which also misses.
Okay.
She's very upset.
Okay. Miranda. You see
she sees
four.
the lightning.
You see 4 orbs floating around now.
Are any of them within 5 feet of another?
The 2 that are attacking you are both within 5 feet of each other.
Excellent. As soon as she sees the lightning come out, she goes, "Oh, I can see that too!" And she casts Call Lightning.
Okay.
So they're gonna make a lovely dex save.
So out of the sky comes a bolt of lightning that hits the ground. They're good at dex saves, actually. What's the DC?
16,
Okay, 1 succeeded and 1 failed.
18 total damage.
Okay, they take none of it. They seem to be immune to lightning.
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made. We woo. All right, backing up. Backing up. I'm gonna use anything that I can to back up away
Okay.
from them.
All right. Strix, then Dieth.
All right, I've been watching these things for a while now, so I can see that at least they were hurt by my fire.
They were.
So I will just drop another fireball right underneath.
Kaboom!
I'm watching, I was like, ah! One
One
wasn't
hand
enough.
after another.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'd also like to crouch on the ground, covering my head while this happens. 'cause
Okay.
hopefully if I-
So when the fire and smoke clears, you're all crouched and
yeah.
down
If
on the
they
ground.
can't see me, I can't see them. That's how ghosts work. All right. 13. 24 this time.
Okay. You are going to obliterate all but one. And that one is one of the ones that was attacking Miranda.
Of course.
Diath, there's one left.
After Strix crouches down, I like leap over her back and kind of like roll over her.
A double move.
Yeah, just
On the
so like she
ground.
explodes, goes down. Diath rolls over her and like brings the sword down into that one that's by Miranda.
Okay.
That looks so cool, but Strix is so sad.
Oh, I rolled a 20!
Oh, my God.
Thank you.
Ah!
This is
All right.
amazing.
Oh no!
Give me some crit.
Was that one engaged in combat, or was another say within 5 feet of that guy?
Miranda had backed away from it.
Yes.
So no.
Fine. That's fine. I don't
Oh,
have
you
any
get your
D6s
crit.
anyway.
You get your crit.
Yeah, I did get the crit though. Hey. Total of 11.
Okay, that's gonna do it. You destroy it. You pop it like a
Yay!
balloon. Pop.
Hey.
Man,
And-
did we just look cool? How did
Yeah.
that happen?
All right, all the Minotaur will-o'-wisps have been destroyed.
All right,
and
good.
that's why you never mess with the owlbear.
And there's
Hey,
just sort of
Chris.
smoke coming off of everything.
When I had used detect magic earlier, had I seen anything in the crypts at all?
Oh, that's a good question. There was no magical auras around the crypts.
Damn it. Oh,
Miranda, Evelyn, if either one of you sense anything else, let us know. We have to be
Oh,
ready.
great morning, Lord.
Just quietly to yourself.
Custodian of the sun. Please.
You see,
Do I sense anything
Simon
else?
has. You do not sense any other undead or fiends in the vicinity.
Great.
And Simon has
Nope.
crawled into the tomb.
Oh, God
What?
damn it.
Simon!
No.
You see his
No.
little feet disappear inside.
No, good boy. Nope, that's not a good place to play. No. And you have to kind of like, chase after him, like, nope,
Yeah.
nope.
So
Like, you see a kid like walking too close to a ledge.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, no.
Yeah, you see him sort of crawl in. There's the door that was smashed open. Isn't very big, Diath. It's only maybe about 2 feet square. No problem for Simon to fit in, and you're actually pretty slender. You could fit in there yourself. And as you peer into the dark cavity, do you want to try to like grab him or something to pull him out, or you just gonna look inside?
No, grab him.
Uncle Diaz.
Just make a strength to try to grab hold of Simon.
Okay, athletics it is. 11.
Okay, yeah, he just sort of kicks you in the head. and crawls
Sounds
inside.
about right.
But when you kind of look in, it's dark in there, obviously, and you don't have dark vision. But there is enough morning light coming through that you can see there's like a rotted black mummy stuffed in here.
And that's okay. Cool.
And there's a horrible smell. You pick that up. And this mummy has deteriorated markedly. It looks quite old and very moldy. And just make a perception check to see if you notice anything else about it.
Sure. 16.
Okay. From out here, it's not easy to tell, but it looks like it's missing one of its hands.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Cool.
cool.
Okay. I would like to back away and stick my head out towards Evelyn. Just like, Evelyn, could you come here?
Okay. Evelyn dives in.
Okay. First thing you notice, Evelyn, is there is the wretched mummy. You can't smell it because you don't have a sense of smell, but you do see it's pretty moldy. And when you go inside, Simon's not in there.
I imagine that Evelyn is using her wing boots to hang upside down with her head inside, looking around.
Yeah.
She's like, "Did you lose Simon already?"
He went in here and then he kicked me and he's gone. I didn't see him leave.
Is there if she looks around, there's no exit that anyone can see?
No, it's
Simon,
pretty,
if you were
now
playing
it's
inside
pretty
that dead
dark
body, I
It's
swear.
pretty dark and shadowy in there. It's possible he's hidden in some crevice somewhere, but just glancing in, it doesn't look like he's there at all. And you don't hear him rustling around or being knocked around or anything.
Strix is still outside
Yeah.
on the ground.
Yeah.
Miranda's gonna cast a real quick Cure Wounds on
Okay.
herself.
Okay, great.
Evelyn pokes her head back out and says to Strix and Miranda, Salmon seems to have gotten lost inside this hole. Dieth is learning how to be a good babysitter. I'm gonna go down there and help him.
Okay, do you need us to come in there?
Wait, Miranda, perhaps you can see something that we can't.
Okie dokie, I'm gonna go poke my head in.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Sleep?
follow too. I mean, I at least have dark vision, so I can
You
see
do.
a little bit better.
So
Yeah, the
everybody-
two of you
everybody's
know
like
magic way
poking-
better than the rest of us.
The two of
I
you,
don't like
Miranda and Strix, you both try to poke your heads in through this opening to look around with your dark vision. Simon is not in the crypt at all. There's just the rotting mummy. And with your dark vision, you can see that the way the mummy is positioned, its one hand is kind of over its chest, but it's all twisted and gnarled. And it looks like, based on the way the hand is closed in, that it had been holding on to something. And you can tell kind of what it was because the mummy is very soft and mushy, like peat. And whatever it was holding in that one hand was tightly positioned against its chest and left an imprint of itself on its chest. And that imprint looks like a skull, a reversed out skull.
Oh.
I'm sure it's fine.
Why are there always dead people?
Strix, do you know what that means?
Do I know what it means? Oh,
I don't know.
the person who buried dead people. Fine.
I mean, that seems reasonable to me.
Paltin!
Yes.
Okay. You have crossed over into another world, and you have that chalice that the mummy was holding in the crypt. It is made of gold, or it's gold plated, but it looks like it was fashioned from a human skull that had its top lopped off and hollowed out.
Interesting.
Yes, and it's got gems, beautiful gems set in it. It's a remarkable piece of, it's a remarkable art object, if nothing else. But it looks like a fancy, fancy wine goblet that can hold a skull's worth of wine.
It sounds way cooler than this one, actually. Never mind.
And you know, or you believe, that this is the skull chalice of Chagakare, which you were told you would find with the aid of the hand, which was instrumental in getting you to the crypt and getting the crypt open. Your severed hand, buddy, is still with you, probably perched on your shoulder or hanging onto you in some other way. And you are in a forest. There's no sign of Omu anywhere. And this forest isn't a jungle forest. It appears to be sort of dead Tim Burton-like trees, very ancient. It's like you sort of stepped over into an Ingmar Bergman film. It's all very bleak and desolate.
Cool.
And this forest looks like it's been dead an awful long time. There's a warm wind blowing through the forest, and what looks like a little bit of ash on the air kind of blowing through, but nothing substantial. But there is kind of a smell, just a bad smell of rot that seems to pervade this woodland. And you've got the ring on, and it says, "I feel like I know which way to go."
Well then, lead the way.
Yes. I'm definitely drawn to this place, it says.
Mhm.
We're going to be so much happier here, Paltin. This is where I was made.
Really? And where's that exactly?
I'm not sure. I just feel like I've come home. And I'm glad you could be with me, buddy.
Me too, man. This is good.
Yeah, I think so. Your friends are going to come for you, you know that, right?
I assumed as much.
Yeah, but that's good. That's good.
Yeah? Why is that good?
Well, if we're going we're going to make a land here to call our own, we're going to need them.
Okay.
These things don't just happen on their own.
Fair. Fair. Got to distribute that labor.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go this way.
All right, let's go.
Okay. So you go through this forest for an interminably long time. But the one thing you notice is that the day doesn't seem to change. There's no sun. There's just this kind of gray, pallid sky overhead. Everything has sort of had the color stripped out of it. You're about the only colorful thing here. The ground is dead. There's no sounds of insects, no sounds of birds, no small animals, nothing in this forest. The ground isn't perfectly flat, so you're kind of going up and down and around, but the ring seems to know where it's going. And then occasionally it says north. We need to go farther north. This is true.
All right. Is there like an ETA on this? Because been at this a while.
He says, this land is weird. It doesn't have, you can't measure distance and time the same way you can in the real world. This is like a dark reflection of the world, but there's no passage of time, really. It's a timeless place. Do you get that?
As much as I can.
I was made by elves, you know. They're a timeless people.
Yeah, I had heard that a few times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, let's just keep walking in this direction.
All right.
After, you're not sure, maybe hours, days, who knows. You do get thirsty, so you're drinking. You're kind of wishing you didn't leave Simon behind, but the ring said it was a good idea that you'd need Simon to bring your friends along behind you. We can't wait for them here, though. We have to get on with it. We have to move forward. We have to get to a place where we both feel comfortable planting a flag, putting down roots.
And we're heading towards somewhere that's more ideal for that than this.
Yeah, there's not, I mean, look around. There's not much here. It's just a dead forest, right? Do you want to live here for the rest of your life?
I mean, yeah, this doesn't look like an ideal setting for forever, I guess.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know better than me.
Well, we're a team, right? It's us together.
Yeah, but one of us in the team has an inkling on where to go right now. So.
Yeah, but only because I've been here before.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Right.
Then let's carry on.
All right. After a fashion, as your wine is getting dangerously low, you crest this mound in the and you see the forest is starting to thin out. And as you make your way down and around, and the forest becomes thinner and thinner and thinner, you see for the first time a riven scar through the forest that turns out to be a road. And on the edge of the forest, on that road, you see a coach, like a carriage. And the first thing you notice is very dilapidated. It's sort of old and rickety and doesn't look like it's in great shape, but it is intact. And it is being pulled by what looks like a putrescent ogre zombie. One of its limbs has been chopped off at the elbow, and it's got a big hook where its missing arm should be. And it's got straps, and it's literally where the horse would be on this wagon. And it's just waiting there. Make a perception check to see if you notice anything else about this odd wagon pulled by a ogre zombie.
That's a 15.
You notice that the back is punctured with all of these arrows or crossbow bolts. It kind of looks like a porcupine. It's got so many sticking out of it. In fact, there's a couple arrow shots or crossbows stuck even in its wheels in various places. The other thing you notice is that there is a man or figure of some kind peeing on a tree, like he's gotten out of the coach, gone off the road to basically have a quiet moment next to a tree. And he's kind of singing to himself.
Do I recognize him?
As you make your way from tree to tree to get a better look, kind of poking around, trying to get a better look at him, you've never seen him before, but you've seen his kind before. He is a sort of dusky, gray-skinned elf. And you saw those Barovia. And but this guy is dressed a little bit better than they were. They were very much wild creatures, but this guy's kind of dressed in Victorian garb, for lack of a better word. But it's kind of old, like his clothes haven't been mended in a long time. You can see the frayed sleeves, and they're a little threadbare. And the color is sort of washed out of them, so they're not as vibrant as they were when they were new. But yeah, he's undone his zipper, and now he's just zipping back up, and you hear a voice from inside the carriage, a female voice say, "This is taking too long. We've been here forever."
I'm gonna quietly ask the ring, like, do you know these people?
No, but...
Do we want that carriage?
Yeah, because I don't know about you, but I'm tired of walking.
Yeah, same. I'm just like, all right, so it's like, should we do this, should we try and get a friendly ride, or do we just want that whole thing for ourselves?
I guess we could try the friendly approach.
Okay. I'll walk out and I'll call to him just very calmly, very friendly. It's like, excuse me, fellow traveler.
He's surprised at first, and he turns around and zips up his fly in one fluid move.
Don't worry, I didn't see anything. You're good. You're
and he
good.
says, "Scusa."
I've been walking. I've been wandering quite a while here, and well, long story short, I could use a ride. Do you think you could help someone out?
Of course. Come on. Plenty of room.
Fantastic. And I'm gonna like quietly mutter to the ring. It's like, is that okay?
Hey, Norisi, look what I found. And you can see that a woman, same dusk elf, dressed similarly to him. She sort of sticks her head out the coach and looks over at you, and she says, "Hurry on now. We need to get going."
Oh my gosh! Thank you so. You two are saints.
Yeah. When you come over to him, he just puts a hand on your shoulder, very friendly, and he says, "Don't worry about it. He's all
As he
good."
does that, I'm just like, oh, okay, personal space, right?
And he says, "After you, my friend."
It's like,
Well,
thank you.
When you hop in, you see the interior, the velvet lining and everything is sort of decayed and rotting, and this coach is obviously old and decrepit. But when you hop in, you sort of squeeze. She sits over on one side to open up an entire bench for you, and the two of them are now just sort of sitting across from you. And the man just pulls the door shut, and then he pounds the roof and says, "Hey, meat hook! You bambino grasso." And and then he says, "Andare avanti." And suddenly the whole thing sort of shambles, and it starts to move and lurch forward.
So, where are you guys headed?
We're headed north. You?
I believe I'm headed north too. How strange.
And the woman, you see that she's got a top hat, which is sort of fuzzy, set down next to her. And she says, "I am Norisi Houdini, and this is Lovardo Provolone." We are travelers like you.
Like, Paltin. Very nice to meet you.
You can see that Lovardo has not taken his eyes off your wine flask. He says, it's been a long time since we've had a drink.
How much wine do I have left?
Well, you took the cask that was on Simon's back, so you have that. Your current wine flask is basically drained, so you were kind of planning to pour more from the cask. You've got about a half a cask, which is about a gallon.
Oh, okay. I'll be like, oh, well, so it's the least I can do, friendos, and I'll share.
Oh, okay. Yes. He takes it and he says, He sort of makes a funny face, like it's not the best thing he's ever tasted. But he says, I've tasted worse, and hands it back to you. And he says, but one must never look a gift cow in the mouth, eh?
Agree.
And he says, I feel better. This is going to be a good ride now.
I agree.
You can see that the woman has sort of tucked behind her legs up against the bench that she's on a black leather doctor's bag. And it's just sort of shoved behind her. Like she's not trying to hide it, but trying to keep it out of the way and out of the conversation. But you sort of trundle on in this rickety old coach.
Great.
And then occasionally it might slow down a little bit, and then Lovardo will just sort of punch the ceiling and shout, "Hey, meat hook! You fattoria di larvae! Sbrigati! Sbrigati!" And it'll pick up the pace again.
Is your, I don't know what to call him, driver okay there?
He's fine.
All right, that's enough for me.
Yeah. And then he just says, he's our, what's the word? He looks at his friend and she says, Muka de Battaglia, our battle cow.
I'm sorry?
Chris is having way too much fun with this.
And then you just sort of ride on. And occasionally Lovardo will extend a hand and ask, get some more wine. You think he's pretty deep into it.
I like this guy.
Yeah. And he says, nothing is free. And then he says, when we get to wherever it is we're going, I'll make sure that you are rewarded. We have a few trinkets and baubles we can part with.
Oh, how very kind of you.
And then you just sort of sit there, and there's a long ride. It seems to go on for hours, if not days, occasionally punctuated with one of them saying something, or just sort of nodding off and waking up with a start. They seem to not really nod off, they sort of go into trance. So they just become just sort of staring off in a direction, usually out a window. As you sort of look by, you leave the forest well behind, and on hills and things you see leering evil buffalo. Basically pulling up dead grass out of the ground with their teeth and then staring at you with green glowing eyes as they chew. And that's all you see for miles and miles and miles, are these grazing, green-eyed buffalo.
I'm going to ask them about them. Like, what's their story?
Yep. And there's a bit of warm wind that's buffeting the coach, and they sort of look, we've never asked them, says Lovardo.
That's fair. I'm going to, after that, I'm going to be like, hey, what was his name again? Lovardo?
Lovardo Provolone.
It's like, Mr. Provolone, where exactly are we?
You are in a place called the Shadowfell.
Ah, I see.
This is our home.
That's what I hear. Here it's lovely around these parts. Really, really ideal place to settle down.
I suppose.
Okay.
And you travel a long time, and then you hear Narisiana, she likes to be called, say. She just sort of stares out a window and says, "Il dolce far niente."
Come again?
Oh, nothing. It's good to do nothing.
Uh-huh. Am I able to communicate with the ring, like,
Telepathically?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna ask it, like, how much farther do you think we should go? Does it still feel like we're going in the right direction?
Yeah, we're definitely headed where we need to go.
Okay.
I definitely be feeling drawn in that direction. Boy, I'm glad we don't have to walk. And the less these people say, the better.
Fair. Do we feel significantly closer, or?
No, we still got a ways to go.
Cool. Well, at least we still have wine, right?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, cool.
All right, so you begin to drain the wine. You get down to a quarter cask and then down to an eighth cask. And there's been no change in how long the day has gone, but it feels like you've spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours with these people. And sitting on this bench, it's becoming even more painful. And the bouncing around and the jostling around. Occasionally you feel like you do have to stop at one point and actually relieve yourself.
Okay. I guess I'll ask if we can take a little pit stop.
Yeah. Mi took. You bruta polpetta. Stop. And suddenly lurches to a stop. You hop out, you relieve yourself somewhere. They'll get out as well and just sort of walk around. She will just sort of fan herself with her top hat, and he'll just sort of stretch.
I'll ask the ring, like, so now that we're out, do we need anything? Are we still just wandering? It's been a while.
Yeah, you just see this road meandering off toward dusty, sort of canyon-like land masses, and then far, far beyond those, you can see jagged, pointed mountains. But it feels like you've been staring at those mountains forever, and they haven't gotten any closer. He says, or the ring says, "We'll get there eventually. We just have to make sure you don't starve."
All right. I guess we're good to get back on the carriage then.
Yeah.
Keep going.
It's possible they might know more about how far it is than I do, says the ring. And eventually you do get back in the carriage and you trundle along with them, and they're both very quiet. They just sort of sit there staring at windows or staring at their hands. They don't seem to be terribly concerned about not having any food.
Do you guys don't have anything to eat on here, do you?
No. But I hope we find a place where we can stop soon and rest, eh? And she says, "I do remember coming by here, about 30 years ago? 35? I think there's a tavern somewhere on this road. We'll keep our eyes peeled."
Okay. Can I, perceive anything fishy?
Make an insight check.
Okay. Well, that's a 4.
Nope. At one point, you don't notice anything fishy, but at one point, Lavardo does ask you, where's the rest of him? And he's pointing at the hand.
Oh. Do I know?
Yeah, you know, having crawled through the crypt, that you had found the mummy of Chagakari, to whom this hand belongs. So you've left him behind.
Oh, they're elsewhere.
All right. Going back to the rest of the party, what do you guys do?
So this tomb has been here for a while, so does it have like a fine layer of dust or cobweb or anything similar?
Inside, yes.
Okay. Can I look around for any kind
Lots of black mildew, too.
Yeah, I want to look around for recent footprints or signs that someone potentially went inside of here that wasn't myself, Simon, or the others.
I'll poke at the corpse.
Okay, make your wisdom survival check to check for tracks, Dieth. And
Survival, okay.
you poke at the corpse, Strix. It has been dead a long time. It's soft and mushy.
It's dead.
It appears to have had its internal organs removed.
That's gross.
Are they in jars on any of the walls?
You don't see any evidence that they're actually with the corpse.
Survival 16.
With your 16, you do see evidence that maybe Paltin crawled in here.
Okay. Am I able to tell where he suddenly was?
You can also
not
see
here
the little
anymore?
handprints from the fingers of the severed hand.
Can I tell or see where like these tracks suddenly stop?
Stop near the back of the crypt.
Okay. Okay. Strix, you know magic pretty well.
But
Moran-
as I answer, my arms are fully in the corpse. Moving around inside
Evelyn
of it.
is like,
And she's just like grabbing inside of it like, I don't feel anything. The organs are gone.
Right.
Yes, what did you want? I'm
Uh,
waiting.
do you can you is there like a portal or something here, or maybe it's a
I'm gonna
secret
stop
door?
you
I guess
right
it
there.
could be a secret
I'm
door.
going to stop you right there, Jared. Strix, Jared just sort of stops talking in mid-sentence.
Okay.
oh no, oh no, oh no.
When you turn toward him, he's not there.
What? Wait, he said portal. I heard the word portal, right?
Oh, there's probably a portal right over here.
Portal.
Evelyn walks to stand exactly where Dieth was
Okay.
and starts looking around expectantly.
Strix will take her arms out of the corpse, like.
Yeah, when you see, as soon as you see Evelyn storm past you, Strix, to go toward the back of the crypt, for an instant, she's there, just sort of gleaming in what little light is filtering in here, and then you sort of see the shadows come around her, and she's gone.
Oh, yep, I know that. I just wipe my hands on my robe, and I'm just like, come on, Miranda.
What's happening?
Let's go want to die.
Okay, hang on.
Unless you want to stay, I'm just saying, now's the time to just go.
No,
really,
I gotta
to
really,
be honest.
you know, I would
kind of
go.
like you can go make some money in Port Nyanzaru. You can pick up bodies. There's so many things you can do.
I would go, except that this ring is super dangerous, and I kind of feel like it's my fault. So
I don't know. I don't. All I'm saying, if you're barmy to come over here, but I say that as I walk towards the
I am. So I use my staff of flowers to make a flower, and I put it on the corpse, and I'm like, I'm sorry, she had your hands in you, and then she goes and follows Strix.
Okay, so Strix, before you head in after your friends, I will point out that Dragonbait and Waffles are still outside.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that's right. All right, I'm like,
I thought of that after I walked.
Hold on. I'll like hustle back outside and look at Dragonbait and be like, Dragonbait, you have to pet sit again because we have to go through a portal, probably someplace really bad. If you need to, like, well, I understand if you go to Port Nyanzaru, you can start busking with Waffles. Like, really, she'd be great for making money. And like, I'm just saying,
You're
we'll be
leaving
back.
her?
We're not leaving Dragonbait, as I hear Evelyn's voice in my head going, we're leaving her!
All right, Dragonbait smells like sadness. He smells like roses, actually.
like, "Don't
but
do
he
that."
sort of gives you a nod of understanding.
Tell him we'll find something nice.
Yeah, we'll be back. Oh, we'll bring you a present. We'll bring you a present.
I want to leave my veg pygmies with Dragonbait
Okay.
too, and be like, I'm sorry, you're babysitting more kids, but I don't want them to die. And she just kisses them on the forehead and then leaves.
Okay. The Krypton is gone.
Some snacks.
Okay, you dump some snacks out.
Yeah, I'm like, these are for Waffles. She gets one in the morning and one in the afternoon when she's trying to sweet things on people's ropes. And then I'm just like, I'm so sorry, Dragonbait. I really hope we could do something nice for you, but like, honestly, we're just a mess. And she just walks away.
All right, so you disappear into the crypt. All of you have, at various stages, first Diath, then Evelyn, then Miranda, then Strix, now emerged into a dead forest.
As Strix comes out and then like nobody else comes out, I'm like, aren't Waffles and Dragonbait coming?
No, they're staying.
Why?
Look, Evelyn,
What
animals
if we can't
shouldn't
go back?
animals shouldn't go through portals. That's just this is a rule that we have now.
And then
Waffles
Waffles comes
isn't it
through.
Evelyn hugs Waffles. I knew you were.
And
Look,
as soon as
she's
she
not
sort of-
just an animal, she's a family
And
member.
when creatures sort of appear here, they don't just sort of bamf appear and fall out. They just sort of, they start off very almost ghost-like, and then they just fully materialize where they're standing. So it's like they become solid. So she just sort of materializes near you, but then is instantly frantic and looking around, making sure, like counting you all off. Like,
Evelyn jumps on her back and gives her like a bear hug with her arms and legs and buries her face in her feathers. She's like, "You would never leave us. You're a good girl."
and she's like,
Strix
Diath-
is just like really mad, like Dragonbait failed me.
he
Diath
tried.
will give her a
He
nice
tried.
scritch, and then
Waffles wasn't having it.
Diath will go to where everyone else appeared, and just to see if there's a way back. Like, can I go back through here? Or?
When you sort of put your hand in the general area and you just sort of hold it there, it does become kind of translucent.
Oh, okay.
Good to know. We should remember this place because I want to
up.
get back.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, the other thing you notice in reading Miranda is there's almost nothing distinguishing what this place is. You're just kind of in the middle of this dead forest, so you feel like you'd have to mark it or something. Or
And it's not a place that looks at all familiar to me.
no, it does not. Although now that you've seen it, being a druid and kind of knowing the shapes of trees and things, that you would be able to find could, but almost nobody else could.
I know. I'll draw little suns on every tree that we pass, and then we'll know how to get our way back.
Make sure that what you use to draw on them is biodegradable.
Oh yeah.
I
Of
turn
course.
my staff into a broom as this is happening. I'm like, I'm gonna go see where we are and just go up in the air.
Perhaps
All
we
right.
could find our way around or back. Photographer's kit. Wait!
Oh yeah, I forgot that you did that map thing back in college.
Yeah, Diath will try to start making haphazard maps, just kind of mark
Okay.
them while Strix goes off and looks around.
All right, so Strix, you explode up into the air, and when you look around, you can see there's no sign of Omu. There are none of the cliffs that hem the city in. You're just in the middle of this dead forest that seems to go on forever.
Forever.
But off in the haze, you can make out what appear to be canyons and other distant features, and far, 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 far away through the gray, lifeless landscape, you see jagged peaks, both to the north and to the east and to the south of you.
Can I do an Arcana check to see what plane we're on?
Certainly.
Tell everyone. All right. 24.
All right, with that roll, you believe that you have crossed over into the Shadowfell.
All right.
And what you know about the Shadowfell can be...
They hear a scream.
The plane of shadow, a dimension of black, gray, and white, where most color has been leached from the world. It is a place of darkness. It's sort of, in addition to its colorless landscape, you can see a lot of its features tend to be twisted and warped, like distorted reflections of what you would find on the real world. And you also know this is a place where undead reside primarily, as well as other creatures of shadow. This is also where domains of dread are born.
All right. I fly back down. I put my broom down, and then I turn it into the owlbear doll, and I
Right.
hold it close to myself.
You hold your
I
owlbear
say-
doll.
I say, "This is the Shadowfell. This is a bad place. We need to leave."
Are we gonna go after your friend?
I just say we need to leave as a reaction. That's just it's like a
Oh.
tick of mine. We're not actually leaving. Yes, we're going after our friend and we're all gonna die.
Well, I don't know if Paltin even wants to be found, but we definitely need to find Simon.
Oh,
I
Simon.
need to
yeah.
find the ring.
Actually, Simon hasn't gone too far. He sort of walks back toward you now that you're all here,
Oh, good.
and he just waves.
Now, Simon, Uncle Dieth is not very good at looking after you. You have to stick next to him, otherwise he's going to lose you.
I'm not his uncle.
Uncle Dieth says he's sorry for losing you.
He's definitely his uncle.
Dang it. All right, Simon, if you know where Paltin is, we got to get you back to him, so why don't you show us where he is as fast as possible?
Okay, he'll begin walking off.
Are you sure that Paltin wants to be found? Shouldn't we just take Simon back with us?
The reason that we're finding Paltin is because he has an evil, super evil ring, and we have to get it off of him, which is why we're here in this super evil place.
This is the kind of ring that if it's in the wrong hands, which I assume it is right now, it could cause a lot of problems for everyone, not just for your friend, but for you and me and everyone you love.
Maybe he's off doing good with it.
I'm not sure what's going on, but I do think he wants to be found. And Dieth actually point at the sun sword that Evelyn is carrying.
Mhm.
If he didn't want to be found, he wouldn't have given us that.
Does he want to be found, or does the ring want us to find it?
I'm not sure. I think even maybe subconsciously, if he is beyond his own power and it is just the ring, he wouldn't have given us that. He would have kept that weapon for himself. There's something here, and we have to go after him.
Paltin, your ring now has 20 charges instead of 12.
Damn! That's a lot.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it says to you telepathically while you're riding in this coach, you know, when Artis had me, he never really wanted me. And the same can be said for a lot of my past wearers. But you and I, it's like to be together.
Well,
I can
Artis
do-
was a fool.
I was given amazing power. And I feel like for the first time, there's somebody who has me who can actually use that power.
Palm just goes, "Aw, so sweet."
I think I also know who these people are.
Hmm?
I think they're Shatterkai.
Do I know what that is?
No.
I don't know what that is.
They're elves who retreated to the Shadowfell and became touched by its despair.
It's like, okay, so does that mean anything for us?
No.
No.
Except, I think they follow a elven god called the Raven Queen. She seems important somehow.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sounds cool. It's like, do we have issue with that?
No.
Okay. It's like, I just wanna make sure we have a game plan for once we're off this damn
Oh, yeah.
hell ride.
I think once we get to a place where we're both comfortable, we should wait for your friends there
Mhm.
and then kill them. And when their blood is spilled upon the ground, we'll use it to make a safe land for us.
Yeah, checks out.
Sounds
Where,
right. Yeah, sounds about right.
where no one can ever separate me from the one to whom I belong again.
Chris, how do I feel about this? How
You feel a little twisted up about that. I'm going to allow you, at this point in time, to make a new saving throw against the ring's hold over you, if you so wish.
If there was ever a time for a Nate 20, it is now.
It's gonna be a 1. We had too many 20s.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Just a D20?
Just a D20.
So that would be a 5.
Okay.
Is Evelyn near me?
In your present condition, under the ring's influence, you think that this is the best way to proceed. They're going to chase you forever if you don't put them down, and you don't want them chasing you forever. You think that would be bad for them and bad for you. But you and the ring can plant your roots. The ring then says, you know, as soon as you put me on, I knew that there was something about you that was special, something about you that ties back to this place, that binds us together. It's like we were always meant to be together here in this place. Don't you feel it? And you're like, yeah.
I'm just like, no one has ever said anything so sweet to me. This is why we work.
And then you hear Nerisi say, "Finalmente." Oops, sorry, I pulled my microphone off. Pulled my microphone off. You heard her say nothing. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. She says, "Finalmente," and then she says to Meat Hook, "Meat Hook, famare." And Meat Hook comes to a stop. And she sort of cracks the door open, and you all kind of peer out, and you can see you're kind of cresting a hill that goes down. The road splits, forming a Y ahead of you at the bottom of the hill. And there are hills all around this crossroads, and perched atop one of them is a dilapidated tavern.
Oh, finally, thank God.
Yeah, and Lovardo echoes your sentiment. And he says, "Meatball, you borsa di merda, onward!" And then trundles forward. And I think at last we have arrived somewhere where we can rest our feet and our butts and get some drink in us.
Butt does need resting.
My throat is too dry.
Agreed. Very much so.
And then he looks at Nerisi and says, "È un lungo viaggio." And they seem very happy. And then their happiness sort of fades very quickly, and they're kind of morose. But you come to a stop. You sort of go up this gravel, dusty driveway to this inn. You can see hanging from the inn itself looks like it's in great disrepair, that it's fallen under hard times. It actually looks abandoned when you first see it, but then you can hear voices inside and smell the scent of ale wafting out through its open windows and doorway. But you also see tied to the eaves of this ramshackle wooden building, which has a turret on one end, are these twig glyphs. Glyphs that have been made out of twigs that hang from it like protective wards.
Do I know what those are?
You can make an Arcana check.
Oh, that's
Intelligence.
okay. Oh. 10.
You think they're protective wards, but you don't know what they might do, if anything. They might just be totemic symbols or meant to scare off travelers or something innocent like a jack-o'-lantern. But they just hang from all the eaves and just sort of twitch and move in the breeze. As you pile out of the wagon, Meat Hook gives you a somber, dead-eyed look. He doesn't seem tired at all. It's just this sort of, the way his flesh kind of hangs off his body is disgusting, and it sort of created this kind of perpetual frown on its face. And then when you look around below, by the crossroads on lower ground, you can see there are these old crow cages hanging.
I asked the ring. It's like, do we like this place? Is this the place?
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
As long as they've got all the ale that you can drink, that's all we really need, right?
I guess so. All right.
You can see that as they come out of the coach, Lavardo helps Nericiana down, and she's got that black doctor's bag in her hand and the top hat on her head. And she just sort of looks around, smells the air, and it's kind of all dreadful. But she looks at the inn and makes her way toward it, and Lavardo stands next to you and says, yeah, that wasn't so bad, eh?
Sure. I've had worse. I'm going to ask her, like, so what's the bag?
Are you sure you want to know? Of course you do. And she comes over to you, and she'll open up the bag, and you can see that it contains what looks like almost like flaps or pieces of leather all sort of piled in there. But as you take a closer gander, they're all carved off faces.
Oh.
Cool.
Oh. So
And inside the bag, on the inside, you can see sleeves where she's got all these knives.
Oh, so you do leather work.
And Lovato says, Nericiana, see if they got some beds and drinks for us. My friend Palto here. Palto, come with me. And he takes you back to the coach and steps inside briefly, and he pops up the bench that you were sitting on, and it's hollow underneath. It's got like a compartment, and it's full of gold and trinkets and things.
Oh, so that's been here the whole time.
See, we are collectors of trinkets and memories. And in Nericiana's case, faces. But more the trinkets and the memories.
Right. Can I ask about the faces, or is it the less I know, the better?
He says, you don't need to worry about that. We're no threat to you, my friend.
All right, that's enough for me then.
But if you're really curious, ask Nericiana. She likes to talk about her work.
Well, it's good she found something she likes. I mean, what's the thing about you do what you love, carving up faces, you never work a day, and you're something, I don't know. Anyway, what were you saying?
I've never heard that expression before.
So anyway, you were talking about this bench.
Yeah, he says, is there something that you would like? Some piece of jewelry or memento or something to remember a journey?
Is there anything that particularly my eye in there? Or?
There's so much. Oddities and stuff, no. But if you were just sort of dive your hand in and pull something out, maybe you'll get something.
Sure.
All right, roll percentile dice. 2 d10s, 1 10s, and 1 1s, and I'll see what you out.
Okay, so let's see. 72.
72. All right. You pull out what appears to be a silver teardrop earring. And the way it glitters and sheens, it's like a real teardrop, kind of frozen on the end of a hook, basically. Like it's sort of magically suspended there.
Neat. Like, is there a story behind this?
Yes. He says that it was a gift from a grandmother to a granddaughter.
Great. Just gonna put that in my pocket. Save that for later.
All right. Back with the other party members. As Simon leads you down through this thing, you begin to feel despair creep upon you.
Even me? I mean, it's usually there.
It's usually there. I would like Miranda, Strix, Diath, and Evelyn to each roll a d6.
Great.
Don't I have some sort of like protection from this? I mean, despair is kind of like being frightened.
It's not the same as fear.
I fail. I rolled a 6.
Okay,
I rolled a 4.
a 4. Miranda?
I also rolled 6.
6.
I got it too.
Okay. All right. So, Evelyn, your despair begins to manifest as kind of a form of madness. And actually, this is true for Diath as well, because you both
Great.
rolled 6s.
Let's get some more of that.
So, you have disadvantage on ability checks and saving throws that rely on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. So your mental stats, basically.
Thank God that wasn't me.
All right.
Disadvantage on ability checks and saving throws against your mental stats. And you both gain the following flaw. I can't tell what's real anymore.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Okay.
Holly. Oh, God. This is so appropriate for Strix.
Oh,
Strix's,
no.
Strix's,
Oh, no.
Strix's despair manifests as dread.
Oh, great.
This isn't actually much of a stretch.
Yeah, I was like, how is this any different than real life?
You have disadvantage on all saving throws,
Oh, well, fuck me.
and you have the following flaw, which I think you have already. I am convinced that this place is going to kill me.
Oh, I'm already convinced.
There you go.
I mean, I can turn it up by like 20%.
Yeah, so you just dial it up, basically.
Yeah.
And Miranda, you now suffer from apathy. You have disadvantage on death saving throws
Oh, good.
and on initiative checks. And your flaw is, I don't believe I can make a difference to anyone or anything.
Okay.
Welcome to the sad crew.
I just love how Strix is only minimally changed.
Yes.
We're like, why are you affected by this?
I don't know, but we're all gonna
I
die.
said we were going to die a second ago.
And just to check on Waffles, because she's not immune.
Oh, I don't want sad waffles.
She can't tell what's real anymore either.
Oh, God.
Oh no.
I feel like that was also partially true already.
Yes. It is as you are beginning to lapse into despair, and you don't know how long Simon has been guiding you through, but the forest has begun to thin. And when you get toward the edge of the forest, you see a road for the first time, a gash across the land. And parked on the road, no, it's not another coach with another meat puppet.
Oh, that would be crazy.
That would be crazy. You see an emaciated, grayish-black horse with a rider on it, sort of cloaked, all dressed in black, except he's wearing a burlap sack over his head with eye holes cut out of it. And he is standing on the road, he's mounted on the horse at the edge of the forest, just waiting.
Look, it's the embodiment of our despair.
Can I use my cloak to imitate the hood?
The burlap sack?
Mm-hmm.
No, because it's a separate thing. Your cloak can only turn into other kinds of cloaks.
Okay.
But you could do a cloak that has kind of like a burlap cowl.
Hood.
Or hood,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna-
You could do that.
I'm gonna do that.
All right.
Doesn't matter.
Strix is gonna run up to it with her staff on fire and going, "Don't kill us!"
Okay, as you run toward it with your fiery staff,
You're not gonna kill us!
the horse and the rider do turn to you, and you can see the rider's got a sheathed long sword tied to, obviously, it looks definitely a man, in terms of his shape and form. But he's wearing black gloves, black top, black boots, black everything, just the gray burlap sack over his face. And he says, "Who are you?"
Who are you? My name is Strix.
"I am Lord Nile."
Lord Nile. His name is Lord Nile. Are you going to kill us?
"No."
We're okay. He's just barmy. It's fine.
Dieth is on the ground, like kind of grabbing the dirt of the road and like picking it up and kind of like looking at it, just like, nope, nope, nope,
Evelyn?
nope. Simon's real. Simon is real. We're following Simon.
Evelyn is standing next to Strix, like that whole time when Strix was talking to him, she just kind of slowly walked up to Strix, and she's just like this close to Strix's face, just being like,
She'll just like take her hand, like, stop.
He asks you, Lord Nile asks you, "Have you seen a coach pulled by an undead ogre?"
No.
"It has passed through here."
No.
I don't believe you.
Just ignore them. Everyone here is going barmy, but I'm already barmy, so I guess I'm relatively fine.
"It has 2 Shadowfell assassins in it.
That sounds bad.
They attacked my estate."
I'm sorry, Lord Nile. What's under your sack? Do you have a face under there?
He pulls the sack off, and you see his face has been shorn off.
Oh!
"That's not real."
It's just this bloody mask with his eyeballs.
Nope, doesn't matter.
But the
Doesn't
face
matter.
has been cut off him.
Can I cure wounds maybe and like fix his face?
Nope.
He
not
sort,
even
It's
when
it's
you,
fine.
you
Sometimes
sort of go over
we
to
all
him.
lose our faces.
You sort of go over to him to sort of touch him. Are you going to say that you're going to try to cure him or whatever?
Yeah, I'm like, or Evelyn. I'll call Evelyn over. I'll be like, Evelyn, don't look, but you can fix his face by laying on hands.
Don't say that. His face is nice. It's not nice to say.
No, but we're trying to be nice to these kill us. So just lay on hands, a couple points for him.
She just kind of like puts her hand on his knee, and she's like, "Sorry," and she lay on hands is on him.
Yeah, he'll actually take off his glove and hold his hand out to you.
When he does that, she takes his hand and just like smiles at him and strokes it.
All right, how much healing are you giving him?
Start with just like 10.
Okay. Because it's not regeneration, it is not regenerating his face. But what it does do is it removes the injury and kind of makes his face less of a bleedy
that's
mask.
good.
But he is still horribly, horribly disfigured.
Well,
But he says, "Thank you." He's got
You're
no lips.
welcome.
Got no lips, so it's hard to talk.
no cutter's got to walk around in pain and without a face. Learned that back home. Okay.
Now Evelyn's nuzzling the horse.
Okay, put your mask out on. I think we're going in the same direction, maybe, Lord Nile. We're following. Is Simon going the same way as the way that
He's
the
trying. He looks like he's standing by the road and planning to head north.
All right. Is it going north, Lord Nile? I'm like pointing at the ground.
Yes.
All right. Well, then we're traveling companions. Why don't you put one of my other companions on your horse so that they don't have to walk?
Evelyn is like actually embracing the horse's face and like nuzzling it right now.
You can see that the horse it looks malnourished and bony and kind of sickly. It's got all these sort of scabs on its face, and there's a scab around one of its eyes, which is sort of milky. It is clearly an ailing beast. And it also looks quite old.
Never mind.
It looks beautiful.
Let's please. We'll help you. We'll help you. We'll help you, Lord Nile. There's no one else here who's talked to us, so we don't have anyone else.
They killed my family.
Oh, I'm really sorry. She's just like, that's bad. We will help you. We'll help you.
Miranda's in the
We're
back
gonna
with
talk here
her.
anyway.
Miranda has her arms around Waffle's neck, and she's just like burying her face into it, going, "I can't help anyone. I can't help my friends. I can't help anyone."
She attacks you.
No!
Okay.
No!
All right. She seems to mistake you for somebody else. And she just goes to town on Miranda.
Do we?
Should have seen it.
I'm confused. Like, Ethan would try to stop her, but maybe not, because maybe she doesn't get
All
it.
right. She snaps at you. You're a little surprised. She misses you with the beak. She hit you with the claws and does 14 points of damage, Miranda.
Okay.
Let's roll initiative.
What?
All of us?
Oh, Paltin's
Chris?
safe. Yeah, everybody.
I can't.
Chris
No,
Perkins?
I can't do it to Waffle.
Strix,
I swear to God.
I got an
8. Dieth,
21?
Evelyn,
10.
Miranda.
2.
All right. And Waffles rolled a 16. Okay. Dieth, what do you do when Waffles suddenly goes crazy on Miranda and starts to tear into her?
Nothing.
Okay.
You just like, nope.
All right.
Nope.
Waffles
We're
will
gonna-
have
we're
another
gonna leave
go.
right out of here real fast. Nope.
Waffles will have another go. This time, she is going to miss Miranda both with her claws and her bite. As she gnashes, Miranda, you're doing everything possible to just sort of hold her off and get out of the way. And it is Evelyn's turn.
Evelyn's squinting like she's really trying to see or understand what's happening, and she just kind of like is slowly getting closer and closer, like leaning in and squinting at Waffles and Miranda, trying to like see what's happening.
Okay. But not taking any actions per se?
No.
Okay.
She's just literally like as if she were mostly blind or completely wasted or something,
Okay.
and she just like can't comprehend what's happening and is getting as close as she can so she can figure it out.
Strix, what do you do?
polymorph into something very small
Okay.
that I can put into a jar or something on my robes.
What would you like that thing to be?
Oh gosh. I'm gonna just a tiny like
Oh, never mind. She rolled a nat 20.
God damn it.
Okay.
It
That's
was gonna
my
be a baby chick.
that's
okay?
my that's my first 20.
Did
All right.
Waffles get disadvantage on saving throws?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm glad you mentioned that. Why? This is a wisdom saving throw, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
she has disadvantage.
Yes.
Okay. She rolled a.
Just to be a 16.
Okay, she did not. So yes, she turns into a chick.
Oof. Good call, Jared.
Baby chick. Baby flightless baby chick.
All right, she is now scampering around a flightless baby chick.
All right. I will pick her up
Okay.
and put her into some sort of robe, which I'm sure I have one.
You do, and you can see Miranda's got this sort of claw mark across her shoulder. From
Almost
where?
like Evelyn, can you do some Lathander on Miranda?
Lathander bless you.
All right, and Waffles will be a chick for what is it, an hour?
An hour.
Okay.
Evelyn just said Lathander bless you. She didn't actually. When you said do Lathander, that's what she
Okay.
thought you meant.
Oh, so no healing?
No.
Okay.
So it's like, no, you heal her. You can't just yell that.
Paulton.
Evelyn just kind of like puts her hand to her face and then like smacks Miranda in the face and heals her for like, I don't know, 10-ish
Okay.
again.
You get 10 hit points back, Miranda.
Okie doke.
Nathan, when Paltin goes in, you can see that this ramshackle tavern is up and running. There is a man behind the bar who's sort of a decrepit old guy. And he's already pouring a drink for Neresiana, who went in first, and is happy to do the same for you.
Great. We have ale. We're good.
You also notice the sign outside this establishment says, "The Dead-Eyed Drunk."
Huh. Relatable. So I'm gonna sit next to her.
There's nobody here, you and the two Shatterkai and the barkeep.
So I'm going to ask her, like, so what's up with the faces?
Lovardo and I collect trinkets and memories from people, and he likes shiny things, and I like these faces. They remind me of all the people that I've had to kill. It's dirty work, but we all hold on to things to keep our sanity.
Cutting people's faces off to keep sanity. Okay, sure. You know, don't knock it till you try it, right?
Precisely. She will share her drink with you.
Didn't he pour me one, though?
He did.
She's like, oh, I have one. Thank you, though.
She'll take hers back.
Wait, what?
She'll take hers back.
Oh, hers. I thought it was mine. Okay. It's like, cool. So, where do you head from here?
I am not sure. We'll probably stay here for a little while. Are you planning to stay for a little while?
When she asked me that, I telepathically asked the ring, do we plan to stay here for a while?
Yeah, this seems like a good place to meet up with the others when they arrive.
Yeah, we might stay a bit.
I'm
Sure.
guessing these two could be useful to us. They seem to have some skills.
How long did you guys plan on staying?
Time is such an ephemeral thing, particularly for we who don't age. It's not like we have anywhere we need to be. No other. I was about to talk about my assignments, but there are some secrets that we have to keep ourselves. Suffice to say, we're here for you, Palto.
That is so sweet of you guys. Everyone here is just so nice and accommodating. This is good. This is a good place.
Lavardo will slap you on the back and say, let's play a game.
Okay, let's start with the stop hitting me game.
Fair enough. You like drinking games?
I hear that, I'm just like, yeah.
Let's see which of us can drink the other under the table.
I like you. This is good.
All right. He'll tell the barkeep, keep the drinks coming. And then he'll take you over to a table and plop his drink down.
Okay.
And then he'll actually reach behind the bar and grab some shot glasses. And lay those out on the table. And then he'll set them all up on the table. So you got like 4 in front of you and 4 in front of him. And then he'll go back over to the bar and he'll grab a bottle and he'll start pouring liquor into the glasses. And then put the bottle on the table.
So are we playing for something, or is this just for fun?
We should make it interesting.
All right.
What do you have in mind?
I mean, please, you first. Game was your idea.
He sort of looks at you and he says, Bella Vista. Bella Vista, Bella Vista. I know. Loser gets his face cut off.
Oh.
What does the winner get anything aside from keeping their face?
Seems like a pretty good win for me. And for you. With that, you can see Nericiana over at the bar. She's opened up her bag and pulled out a scalpel and just sort of sets it on the bar.
It's like, I'm gonna mind speak with the ring really quick. Like, do we want their help for when the friendos show up?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, how about this? If you win, you you get the face. But how about if I win, you help me out with something?
Anything. Name it.
I've got some that I'm meeting up with, at some point. If you don't have anywhere to go, if you're not in any kind of rush, maybe stick around and lend me a hand.
You already have
Plenty of hands. Yeah, it's true. At that point in time, you can see Narisi, Anna, has sort of, she gets up, she comes over to you and just sort of drapes herself affectionately over you and just sort of places the scalpel down on the table and says, "Our knives are your knives. What do you say, Levardo?" And he says, "Of course, let's do it. We'll do exactly what you say. We'll help you with your friends if you win."
All right. Let's play.
All right. Here are the rules. You can, without having to make any constitution checks, you can drink a number of drinks equal to 1 plus your constitution modifier, which for you, Paltin, is, so you can get 3 drinks down and never have to even worry about making a check. All right, the good news is Levardo's in the same boat. So as you are taking drinks, and this liquor he's found is potent stuff, you get the first 3 down, and you're starting to feel pretty darn loopy after that. But after that, on the 4th drink and beyond, we need Constitution saving throws.
Okay.
Now. So,
And you're not near Evelyn.
and this is,
so...
sorry, I'm not saving throws. It's a Constitution check, and these are contested. So, no, wait, that's not right. Yeah, they are Constitution saving throws. So make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
And he has to make one as well. It's not hard. So the DC is 10. How did you do?
16.
All right. So you both drink the 4th one and you make it. Now you're on your 5th drink. The DC is 11.
All right. 16. Oh, wait, 17.
Okay, you both make it. On your 6th drink, the DC is 12.
That is an 8.
Okay. So on the 6th drink, Paltin, you feel your consciousness begin to fade. And you just sort of faceplant on the table.
Face plant.
Before I faceplant, like on the way down, be like, wait till I wake up.
All right. You wake up sometime later, up in a shoddy bed on what you believe to be the 2nd floor of the inn. The roof is sort of slanted on one side of the room, and there are holes in it where the shingles have fallen away, and you can just see the gray sky above. The furnishings in here are all shabby, and there's all sorts of dark corners and things. And you can hear laughter downstairs. It's definitely Narisiana's voice you hear from down below. There's a crappy old window looking off down toward the crossroads. Sort of canted at a weird angle, like the building sloped at some point or the wall sloped, and so it's not a perfect rectangle anymore. And sort of, it's got this broken shape. And there's just sort of a bit of light coming through and falling down on you on this moth-eaten bed.
Okay, so in light of all that, how's my face feel?
You sort of sit up, you put your hand on your face. It feels like it's still there.
It's like, oh, okay.
You see there's an old dresser with like this mirror on the wall above it. The mirror is all dusty and cracked. You could take a look at it there if you want to.
If you want to.
Yeah, I kind of want to.
Okay, you go over and you sort of brush the dust and stuff off the mirror, and you look, And it's your face.
Okay.
But what, Chris Perkins? But there's always a
Right.
but.
Okay.
When you come downstairs, you can see that Lavardo and Nerician. Lavardo looks drunk, out of his, like, just gourd. He's, they're dancing to no music in the tap room. And they're banging into furniture because he's just sort of sloshing around, and she's laughing her head off. And as you come creaking down the stairs, they just sort of stop and they turn to you. And they give you these sort of cryptic elven looks.
So how are you guys?
We're fine. Always good. We weren't really going to cut off your face.
What a fun game.
Oh! I'm like, all right, that was good. You guys, just like.
And we've decided we're going to help you. We're going to help you. We're going to help you kill your friends.
Oh, MVP's right here. That's good. That's good.
All right, and that's where we'll stop for tonight.
Excellent. Pardon me while I down this margarita. Bye, guys.
They just wanted to take your face off.
I'm just gonna sit here and groan.
This is my first time in Barovia.
Barovia, Rachel, this is nothing
Yeah,
compared to
well,
Barovia.
Okay.
But this
All
our
right.
game is always in the spirit of Barovia.
Yeah.
All right,
It's my first time in the spirit.
next week's episode, we could see the birth of a new domain of dread. So
Oh, good.
I hardly
Excellent.
advise everybody to show up for that one. And does anybody have any announcements they'd like to share this week before we break off and Anna goes off to play Mistclicks?
That's my announcement. I'm DMing my first 5th edition
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons adventure right now. Well, I'm leaving right now, and in a half hour we'll go live. So 6:30 on twitch.tv/Missclicks, which is MISSCLIKS. And I'm doing the Lost Mines of Phandelver, which is the starter set 5th edition adventure. So we're gonna learn all together, and I will, take out my frustrations
Right.
on my
Yeah.
players
There you
as
go.
Chris does
There
on
you
us.
go. Channel it. Excellent.
And then also this week, but I'll let Holly do that one.
Oh yeah. So this week I have my game, which will be on Thursday from 5 to 7 before Critical Role. So it stops right before it, so you can all watch that. And it's called Trapped in the Birdcage. It's about Sigil. It's a Planescape game that I'm DMing, and I've never DM'd live before. I've only DM'd at home, so please be nice. And Anna is in it, my friend Jimmy Wetzel, my friend Chad Quant, and my friend Asia, and it's going to be wonderful, and they've made wonderful characters, and I hope you guys just come and have fun, because it's going to be super fun and friendly and all of that. And after today's episode, I'm going on Waffle Talk again to chat about things, and
Right, like Shadowfell morbid sense of humor. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
But yes,
Get a little wine.
and it'll be here on twitch.tv/D&D, so if you want to watch the show, it shall be good fun.
Yeah.
Yay.
For those who don't know, we announced recently Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, a book that's coming out later this spring. The Shadowfell do make an appearance in the book. So.
And or, as it has become known, the Murdy Curdy's Booker Monsters.
Yeah. Murdy Kirky's Booker Monsters. I like it.
Great. I like that one.
Excellent.
Drinking man's game. I get it.
Got
it.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Right. Next week's episode is called Ice in the Veins.
Aw.
No.
It just gets periodically worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when this was about dinosaur racing?
No, can't say I do, Strix.
The best tweet I've seen recently was, remember, or isn't it weird how Evelyn almost eating a baby seems like better days?
Aw.
Rip.
My usual plugs. Be sure to check out the Desk Camera Action subreddit. You see all kinds of fan art, fan theories, fan fiction, and discussion. Super cool. It's getting up towards several thousand subscribers on there now. I'll spam that link as I talk about another thing I'm doing, which is I'll be in Toronto, Canada for EGLX later in March. It's the weekend of March 15th through 17th, I believe, Toronto, Canada. I'll be there along with a lot of people from Rumble Boots and Hidden Block doing a lot of things. I'll be doing signings and stuff too. So if you're in that area of Canada, you can come by and say hi if you want.
Cool beans.
I have one announcement.
Yes.
Finally, my podcast "Shit Goes Down" on YouTube. It was literally the first time I've ever DM'd. I've never DM'd before, period. And I decided to record it because I hate myself. So it's out there for you all to see and judge. Be gentle, please. But I know it's the internet, so.
Did you have fun?
I did. It's terrifying.
Yeah?
It's scarier than anything I've ever done in my life.
But you're going to do it again, right?
Putting that out there. Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to do it every Sunday, and then I put it up on Mondays. So
Outstanding.
look it up on YouTube. Shit Goes Down.
Shit goes down.
I made it all up from my brain cavern.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm taking the easy route because I've never done any D&D DMing. I've only DM'd one other role-playing game before, and so this is I took the crutch. I'll do the adventure.
That's
I
great.
took like the hardest fall down a cliff route I possibly could. Ugh.
Oh. All right.
Well, my usual Misclicks DM, who I've been playing with for 5 years and who has killed so many characters that I love, is now one of my characters. So we'll see how he survives.
Mm-hmm. Oh god.
All right. Yeah, so next week the Waffle Crew will be reunited, and we'll take it from there.
No.
Wee.
Amicizia. Arrivederci.
Bye, everybody.